Today, I'd really like to talk to you about something I consider important. And our topic for this session is embracing the unknown. The reality is a lot of us like to play it safe. We're comfortable with what we're used to. We're comfortable with what we can control. Change scares us, and we don't like surprises. I've seen people that even when they have a surprise party or something to honor them, they get really angry because they do not like to be surprised. And this plays out in different ways in our lives. Embracing the unknown is really about us living with a sense of adventure, living with a sense of curiosity, allowing ourselves not to be limited to what is in the box of what we know. See, the box is a safe space, is what we're used to, is what we know, is what we already control, the factors there. But what does unknown, what does it represent for us? It represents the opportunity to discover what we have not even anticipated. It represents for us the opportunity to engage with people beyond what we've been told about them. It represents for us the opportunity to allow ourselves to explore an unknown territory, unknown grounds, and an unknown field. It allows us to meet people that, despite whatever opinion has been expressed to us about them, or despite the world view of others about situations, about experiences, about people, that we gift ourselves the opportunity to find out what is in the space that we do not control and we did not anticipate in any way. Let's play this out in, let's see, schools. In choosing a university to go, you probably don't have all the factors. Maybe someone went there and someone had an opinion about what the school represents. Now, if you go to that university based on the view of the person that's been through it, you could be disappointed or you could be excited. But going to a new place with a curiosity and an openness of mind allows you to encounter, to experience, to engage, to discover many aspects of that particular institution that all the people that gave you information in advance might not themselves have encountered based on their own worldview. And you have no idea of what preconceived notions they had before they went there. It's the same as people. Sometimes you have a reason to have to deal with someone or meet someone, and everybody gives you their own opinion about that person. You really don't know how or what led to their own conclusion. You don't know how they encountered the person and how that encounter resulted in their worldview about that person. I'll give you an example. So I had a mentee once who she worked in a company in England, in a law firm in England, and she was being transferred to their Paris office. And everybody said to her, oh my God, the partner in charge of Paris, she's this, she's that, she's tough, she's mean, she's wicked, you're going to have a horrible experience and all of that. And she became quite afraid. And she then called me to speak to me about it. So I said to her, look, whatever opinion people have, first, you don't have a choice if you want to remain in this place and have other experiences for your promotion and growth within this organization. You're going to have to take on the challenge of going to the Paris office. 2, you have never met this woman before. So you have no idea if everything they've said to you is right or wrong. You do not really know the view with which they encountered her and formed their opinion, which they're judging her by. What I'd like you to do is go to this office with an open mind, ready to work with her and drop all the preconceived notions that you've been fed. And I want you to go further. When you get there, go and meet her as you would ordinarily someone you haven't met, and say to her, I'm looking forward to working with you and learning from you, and I'd like you to tell me how best you think I can do that so that we can work together successfully. That I've been told all sorts of things, but I don't work with other people's notion. I want to succeed at this, and I know that I would need your help to succeed here. So if you please just guide me, I would be very glad. You know, I had a review with my mentee after some time that she'd been there. And she said it was one of the best experiences that she ever had. They had a great working relationship. They had a great encounter. She learned a lot from her. She realized that this woman is firm, is efficient, and likes work to get done, and doesn't tolerate, people messing around or fooling around with their responsibility, which she should be. If she's leading the team there, she needs to deliver results, and everybody needs to pull their weight. So the opinion that she was fed was based on various aspects of the other people's approach to working with her. She, being a very diligent person herself, she absolutely, at the end, enjoyed working with this woman and learned a lot from her. And this woman became a major advocate for her. In fact, whilst we were talking about this topic and all of that, my very close assistant shared her own experience that she had as she worked in a multinational organization and had enjoyed working in certain teams on certain projects. But then she got transferred to another project, and she was very upset and very miserable and did not want to go. And then one of her bosses saw her and said, "What's wrong with you? Why are you so upset about this?" And she said, "Look, everybody's told me they're wicked, they're this, they're that." And then the guy said, "But that's other people's opinion. Why don't you go there and discover for yourself if these people are really like they say, or go there and discover if it would be the best experience you would have." As it turned out, according to her, these 2 people she was so afraid of going to work with became her biggest advocates and champions in her entire career in that organization. She absolutely enjoyed working with them at the end of the day. They were responsible for her promotion and being lifted up at different levels and having opportunities that facilitated her growth in that organization. If she did not embrace the unknown and eventually listen to the guidance of the senior person who told her, "Go there first," if she didn't go with an open mind, she would have missed the opportunity of connecting with these people, learning from them, and learning that in life, don't judge a book by the cover, because sometimes it's not exactly as you think. Now, let's apply embracing the unknown to your business. Sometimes, you're going to have to pivot your business in areas that are not necessarily your core area, but that you find that opportunities are open there and that your skills, your knowledge can be applied to create some results there. Yes, there are no facts for you to judge the situation by, but your spirit of adventure and your curiosity can allow you to be the forerunner. Look, every forerunner in every industry didn't have anything to go by. You just had your instinct, you do your homework the best you can, you try to discover, what a market represents. Sometimes you're going to get punished for that, but also you get rewarded because there's always a first mover's advantage when you move into a market. And because the learnings that you gain from it will shape your decisions and how you take the opportunity, it can make it more difficult for others to come in as well because the barrier to entry might become high, especially if you have had a chance to take the market in a big way and establish your roots and take the learnings and gain confidence and relationships in the market that makes it a great place for you. Innovation is about embracing the unknown. I'm a scientist by training. My first degree is in chemistry. You walk into a lab not with results, but with questions and your curiosity. You want to know whether something is true or not, because you have questions or you have hypotheses, which are postulations that might not be true. But until you carry out the experiments to prove them to be true or not, you never know what you will discover. And sometimes, some of the biggest discoveries are the accidents of the experiments, not the intention of the experiments. They are the accidents of the experiment. So, for you to be an innovative and creative individual, or to build an innovative and creative environment, you must leave room for embracing the unknown. You must create a culture within your organization that allows the people that work for you to try things out. You must leave room for what is permissible mistakes, because some of those mistakes will give you the best results. To achieve variety of colors, you must, like a child, be willing to mix different colors together to see what the end result is. Because when you mix some colors that have never been mixed together, you might discover a color that has never been discovered before. The reality is, we have to teach ourselves to embrace the unknown. What about your marriage or marrying a guy? There's so much you know of someone until you marry them. Really, marriage is one of the biggest embracing the unknown that you can ever commit to. I know people who have dated people for 10 years, ended up not marrying them, but married someone they met thereafter and dated for just 6 months. That's the height of trusting the future, trusting the process, rather than having a knowing of what the future holds. I've been married for 34 years. This is my 35th year in marriage. And honestly, where we started from and where we are, it's a journey. You daily discover, you daily learn, you daily adjust, you daily accept, different parts of each other. But you hold on to the core of who you are and the tenets of your values that allowed you to decide together to be one. What I would say to you is, look, even as we walk the unknown, there must be some fundamentals that don't change. We must be clear about what our values are so that no matter what we encounter in it, we know the things we will not do and why. We must be clear about how we will respond to people, because in the course of our interactions and our engagements and our adventure, there will always be people in the midst of it. How do we treat humanity? How do we value humanity? How do we show respect to others? How do we handle people? How do we engage with people? What are the things that we will not do no matter what we see? So they're fundamental parts of our lives that will guide us through the unknown, because at the end of the day, we know what our core is. And if we take our core and our open-mindedness into the unknown, there's always a chance we will discover that the best of diamonds is in the rough. It's in dirty, watery, sandy stone. And the diamond is embedded within it. And it's our curiosity to find out what is in it that allows us to discover that, oh my God, in the midst of the rough, of the dirt, of the muddy water, there are real diamonds or other precious stones that are hidden within it. Life is an adventure. Choose to be open-minded about how you engage with people and how you engage with situations. Choose to be curious. Choose to be able to try and test some things out. You will never know sometimes if you like something until you try it. And you will not know what you are able to do until you put yourself in a position or an opportunity to partake or participate in it. You might read about a city and think, oh yeah, I would never like that place. But then you go there because you're forced to, and then you discover the gems within the city that you thought you would never like. Honestly, life is short. 110 years compared to eternity is short. So even if you live to 150 years, to 100 years, 90 years, 80 years, compared to eternity, is short. And therefore, we should make every day count and be open to explore new opportunities and try new things. And at the end, we will find that there's a richness to our lives that nothing else can make up for. We always think, oh, I can't make friends readily. But wait till you sit at a table with somebody else beside you, whom you have an opinion looking at them from a distance. But then you happen to have to sit together and you start talking. I had a lunch group in my house a few days ago, and it was fascinating that people that had never met, somebody from South Africa, somebody from Nigeria, somebody else from Nigeria, who they both live in Nigeria, but they never really met until at the table. And as they were talking, it was amazing to see, oh, you like this? Oh, I like that too. Oh, have you read this book? Oh, I read this, I read that. By the time they were done, they realized they'd read almost the same books. But they didn't know each other before. And then one of them said, you know, it's amazing, we've all just met today, and we're like, we've known each other forever. Yes. You have to sit at that table with an open mind to discover that these perfect strangers to you an hour or so ago are actually more like you than unlike you. And that in engaging and opening your mind to them, you realize you have so much in common and you can do so much together because you're much more alike than different. So I challenge you to embrace the unknown. Be open. Yeah, do some diligence, but sometimes too, you know what? You're going to have to jump off the cliff to discover what's in the valley because there's really no other way. And you'll never know if when you land standing or you're going to die jumping until you jump. I know you're all wondering, who wants to jump and die? Well, some of the biggest discoveries in life have come from the curiosity of men. So I challenge you to just embrace the unknown. Make discoveries and be the first to do something, or the innovator of something, or the big difference to something, simply because of your curious nature. Life is fun. Life is an adventure. Start yours today. Thank you.